So a couple years ago, my wife and I decided to retire, and we decided to downsize. So we went from a 4,500 square foot house by the lake down to a 32-foot fifth wheel in the mountains in Colorado. But what we're attempting to do is build a small, approximately 400 square foot shipping container home and live in that. So let's get started.
Our goal is to completely embrace a totally new, self-sustaining lifestyle by building a small off-grid, energy-efficient home using recycled materials, thereby reducing our carbon footprint.
So it's actually September 11th, 2021. Last night I rolled around in the bed trying to come up with a business plan that had something to do with the land that we're trying to buy right now. It deals with the existential crisis of running out of natural resources, the globe, and what the condition baby boomers have left the future populations of Earth in from overconsumption. The goal is to create small living environments that showcase new and exciting technologies when it comes to energy consumption, because it's all based on our carbon footprint, basically. So for instance, shipping containers, retrofitting shipping containers with like a 12 volt, all solar powered 12 volt appliances, heating, lighting, and all of these systems would be connected to some type of monitoring app. So the people that spend time in this pod, or whatever you want to call it, I haven't worked out all the nomenclatures, but all their energy consumption they'll be able to monitor in real time on an app.
That's cool.
And so they can make choices, and the goal is to kind of create a kind of a challenge, or in a game-like format, where they pick and choose how to heat their space or light their space, and to keep the lowest score possible. So it'll be something, it's kind of competitive thing. For instance, if they make a cup of coffee and they use some of the solar battery charge that'll show beep, 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 the battery's coming down, and they'll go, oh, I just used 28,000 watts to make one cup of coffee. So the whole point is to educate the people into becoming more conscious of the carbon footprint.
What it takes to run things.
Right. And they'll be able to see it in real time.
Right.
So for instance, let's say if it's in the fall or winter, this will be fully livable spaces in the wintertime. They'll be able to heat the whole space, the whole living space, like we traditionally do, or they'll be able to do heat areas specific to them. If we're sitting in a chair, they only heat the air around the chair. Or if, for instance, you sit in front of a wood stove and you just have it blow on you rather than trying to heat the whole space. So they'll be able to compare, hey, I really want to heat this whole space because I'm freezing to death and I want to be able to walk around in my underwear. Or they'll say, you know what, I'm going to put a light down jacket on and a long pair of pants and some wool socks and just sit in front of a small wood stove. So they'll be able to make these decisions, and that will all be part of the carbon score. So at the end of their stay, they'll be able to go, I scored 72. And we'll have all these stats that show people that have stayed there before most of the people that stay there average 62, and they go, oh, we were at 72. Oh, maybe we need to
Rethink some things.
And if they can constantly see the energy usage through the app, they'll be much more conscious of energy consumption and the carbon footprint. Put it on Facebook or whatever, and people can see, hey, look, we spent 2 nights in this pod, and we only use 1,600 kilowatts of power. And we scored a 32 on the scale. And most people get an 82, and everybody goes, oh, yay, yay, yay. So it becomes a kind of a competitive thing. And that way it can go out through social media and be exposed to a lot more people. This whole thing is baseline with, these McMansions that are going up where they're 8,200 square feet, and the whole house is 72 degrees, and it's 5 below zero outside. It's a massive amount of energy consumption and carbon footprint. So you'll be able to compare these two to traditional style homes, and we'll have all that stats listed on the app, and you can peruse it and go, oh, okay, geothermal has provided 23% of the power for me, or heat or energy for me staying here, and wow, that makes a big difference. Yes, can you have geothermal at your house? Yes, you can. It costs a little bit extra, but the whole thing is a training and education system.
So the concept was to create an environmentally responsible way of living, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to take away the convenience of consumption. So what I mean by that is that it's easy to, when you're taking a shower, to forget where the water comes from, and it's nice and hot and there's a lot of water, so you end up using a lot of water. And we know that, we've noticed that when we stay in the RV, that we're doing military style, they call it, type of showers, where you just you get wet, you wash off, and then you rinse off, you turn the water off in between. So it's easy to consume when it's convenient. So what we're trying to do is take a little bit of the convenience out by using solar power instead of hooking up to the electricity. We're gonna truck our own water in instead of drilling a well, because at the property that we just bought, the water's 600 feet down, and we're getting numbers between $20,000 and $30,000 to drill a well. So we're going to truck in the water and pump it into a container in the shipping container, and that way and as we can see the water drop down, we're forced to consume. So when you're aware of the consumption, you tend to consume less. So that's what we're trying to do. And this project will include all the things that I've learned by watching people on YouTube build shipping container homes. I'm watching a lot of videos about what's called aircrete or foamcrete, where they inject air foam into concrete, so it becomes a lightweight cellular concrete, which is it's insulative. It doesn't really hold your structure up, but it can be used as a cover for the structure. So we're going to integrate cellular concrete into that. There's all types of stuff that I've learned, and solar. I've been watching a lot of solar project on Facebook. So I'm going to try and integrate everything that I've learned from Facebook and do most of the stuff myself. So in future episodes, we'll talk about how we got the trailer up there. As a matter of fact, episode 2 is about how we got the trailer. You can click up on it here on the link, or it'll be down in the description. And then after that, after we get the trailer up there, we'll then move into future episodes where we submit plans for designing the thing. First off, submitting plans to the county, getting them approved, that whole process, and then actually building the home. And we hope to take you along the journey, and hope to see you again. Thanks. Bye.